Good evening, friends. I basically feel I hope everyone is fine. I think the cases again are moving up, and I hope everybody's safe and well. Uh, as we had sent across on the WhatsApp saying that there is going to be a completely new regulatory change, which is going to happen on the 1st of July. And we basically wanted to understand and help all of you to understand how this whole process of two-factor authentication which is going to be routed for exchange routed transactions, which will come into place from 1st of July. How is it going to impact us, and what are all the things that we need to be cognizant of? What are the precautions that we need to take? What are the actions that we need to take for our database to tally, so that the process and the function happens much efficiently? And during that phase, when I was talking to Ravi sometime 2 days back, and thank you so much, Ravi, for taking this up in a very short notice to help all our members. So I just called up Ravi to speak to him about to understand how exactly this is going to be. And he was gracious enough to come and say that he would like to take up this, share it with all our members, how this process is going to happen, and how at CAMS, this transition, they will help us do this transition for the members. And that's the reason why we are here. Uh, Ravi is going to speak about doing a presentation for around 40 minutes to 45 minutes. He will speak. All your questions, you can either post it on the chat box, and I will take up all those questions for Ravi. And after that, we will take it forward. And thank you so much, Ravi, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, madam. We're always happy to engage with the distributor fraternity and more so with FIFA members. Nothing like short notice or anything. So coming to the today's session, this is completely on the new regulation, which is about non-pooling of
Ravi, sorry, I need to introduce you. Sorry, I just missed that. And after that, so let me just give you a brief about Ravi. Ravi Somasi is the Vice President Operations at CAMS and is responsible for distribution services, channel exchanges, and RI engagement besides front offices. He is a chartered accountant with an experience in core finance, banking, and MFRTA from the industry for over 24 years. And he has been in the MFRTA industry for over 14 years, with specific focus to administering distributor engagement and services and large operational projects. He comes with a varied experience in dealing with multiple aspects of mutual fund industry. I would request everybody to just give all your questions, all your queries. I see a lot of these queries on Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups exchanging. This is a platform now. You can clarify, you can ask all the questions. And in case if he's not able to answer, we will definitely take up that and we will come back to you later. So all your floor, sorry, Ravi, all floor is all yours.
No problem. Thank you so much, madam. So I'm Ravi Somasi here, and I have my senior colleagues, Mr. K.S. Narayanan and also Mr. Yuvraj Shanmugam. I'm so sorry. We are, yeah, hi. Hi, say hi. Good evening. Hi, good evening. So today what we will do is in the next half an hour or so, we will try to present across the new regulation. As far as the regulation is concerned, we all know that non-pooling of funds by the member brokers, what is called pooling, and by whom it is called pooling, and why it is not allowed, and the attendant regulations like the two-factor authentication and various other things. So with this, I'll share the screen and share the presentation with you. Three of us will be presenting it, and we'll be taking your questions and answers also towards the end of the presentation. In case you have anything, you can raise, or you can, sorry, am I audible?
You are audible. You are audible, Ravi. You are audible.
Okay. Thank you so much. Somebody had posted in the chat window that I am not able to. So, fine. So I will share the screen. I hope all of you are able to see the screen.
Ravi, I think you have to enlarge your screen and put your photo a little smaller. So
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah, so it'll just shift that.
Fine.
No, not yet. Not yet.
So easiest thing is I stop the video. I think now it is fine.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay. So, so good evening and
But now, if you've stopped your video, the content of your presentation has become too small. You need to switch that.
oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm first time user of this particular thing. We normally use Teams. Doing it 1 second.
Ravi, I think you increase your volume also so that I think everyone says it's fine. Only one gentleman says he cannot hear it. So Ravi, continue with the PPT.
Yeah, yeah, madam. I think somehow.
Continue it. Continue it.
Yes, yes. So this is on the discontinuation of usage of pool accounts. As we all know, earlier the member brokers used to the pool money and the channel partners and some of the distributors, they get the money from the investors into their account, and after that, it gets transferred to the scheme account. And similarly, the allotment of units also the demat mode, right? So these two things have been Cyril wanted to discontinue this through a circular issue dated 31st of March. And discontinuation of usage of pool accounts for transactions in units of mutual funds, two-factor authentication for redemption, and other related requirements. This is the topic for the day. We have already taken this slide for MF utility and now again channel partners. We are going to take this live from 1st of July for exchange routed transactions. So we thought.
Ravi, people are not able to hear you. I think you need to speak a little loudly.
1 second, 1 second. It is on the full volume only. Can you? Is it better now?
Now it is much better.
Okay, okay, thanks. So this is something which is getting implemented from 1st of July with respect to the transactions that are routed through exchanges. We had already implemented this for MF utility and channel partners a couple of weeks ago. So having seen uh, mm, the market understanding levels and also the requirement to have more awareness in the market, we thought it appropriate to engage with distributors, particularly who are routing their transactions through exchanges. So instantly, madam called us and she was talking to me on some of the points, and we said we will have a call today. So coming to the definition of intermediate pooling and new changes, there shall be a complete restriction on funds pooled in the name of intermediary, that is the member distributor, and then transfer to AMC clearing corporation account on consolidated basis. So this should not happen. Funds collected and transferred by banking channels, like say State Bank of India or Axis Bank or ICICI Bank as a channel, will not be considered for this. In the sense, it will not be considered as pooling of funds, because by license with license they are operating as a bank. So funds collected and transferred through payment aggregators, clearing corporations, directly into AMC account on consolidated basis is not considered as intermediary pooling, as it is allowed by SEBI. So these are the two things which are allowed by. Yeah, Mr. Rahul, can you post your question in the chat window? I think some of you are raising the hands. You can post the questions in the chat window. Uh, After 2-3 slides, I will go through each one of them and then respond to you. So exclusions are these two things by the banks as well as funds collected and transferred through payment aggregators. Unit settlement, refund, and redemption payouts will be directly initiated to the investor account through clearing corporation to ensure note settlement happens through the member pool account. So all these days it has been happening through member pool account. Effective 1st of July, it will not be happening through member pool account. So this is the requirement, and this is what it is going to happen from 1st of July. and how it.
Ravi, I'm sorry to stop you, but everyone saying that you should go a little slow, and also
Okay.
that your voice is still not clear. Maybe you need to be with the speaker, because people are not able to get uh, very mild voice there, and they are not able to understand. So if you can go,
Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry for going fast. I will go slowly, and I hope I'm audible. It is better now. So the regulation is the pooling is not allowed. I'll go back.
yeah,
So there shall be complete restriction on funds pooled in the name of intermediary, that is the member distributor, and then transferred to AMC clearing corporation account on a consolidated basis. Earlier, even now also as we speak, the funds are getting pooled into the intermediary account, be it channel partner, be it MF, be it the exchanges. That is not allowed. Funds collected and transferred, there are two exemptions to this. Funds collected and transferred by banking channel, bank as a channel, that is, say, State Bank of India, ICICI, or HDFC as a channel, is not considered as intermediary pooling because they, by license, operate under, as a bank, and then they are allowed to collect the money. And number two, funds collected and transferred through payment aggregators. Payment aggregators normally facilitate online payments and clearing corporation also, and transfer directly to the AMC account on a consolidated basis. Though it is consolidated and pooled in the payment aggregator account or clearing corporation account, it is not considered as intermediary pooling. That means the investor money either has to directly get into the scheme account without passing through the member distributor account or channel partner account, or it can go through a banking channel through a consolidation process, get into the AMC, that is the scheme account, or it can go through the payment aggregator route or clearing corporation route and get into the AMC, that is scheme account directly. No intermediary pooling or pooling of funds or consolidation is allowed. In this, unit settlement, refund, redemption payouts will be directly happening to the investor account. As it is happening now,
Ravi,
the
can I just interrupt? I think people are, this is getting too technical for them. So I
okay,
will ask you questions.
no problem. I think it can be better. It is
Yeah,
better.
I'll ask you questions, and then maybe you can answer it one by one, because we will make it very simple. Okay, let's
Sure.
make this very simple. So,
Wonderful.
okay, so friends, every one of us knows saying that from 1st of July, we are going to have, earlier on, everything was pooled. All the money that we used to get transferred to NSE, BSE was getting pooled. And from the pool account, it used to go to different AMCs. Now that whole process is changed as per SEBI guidelines. So now each of this investment will be transferred to specifically on the client's account, and then it will be disbursed to the AMCs, right? For that, I think, Ravi, what is important is if you can explain to us that your the on the NSE BSE, whatever is the email and the uh, phone numbers, mobile numbers that are registered have to be the same as per what the RTA agent has, right?
Correct. I mean, there are two parts to this.
Yes,
One is the DMAT and the other one is non-DMAT. So
correct,
there are this comes under the two-factor authentication.
correct.
So and it is a OTP based one. Uh, we need to have the OTP shared and authenticated by the investor. So for this, exchanges are having two modes. Number one, they are allowing the distributors, like large distributors who have the infrastructure to do their own OTP and their own OTP and
Hmm,
validate. And
correct.
rest of the distributors who cannot do that, they can integrate with the exchanges and then get the OTP authentication done. These are the two routes which exchanges have created for the distributors to post the transactions or to place the transactions. And
So let me just understand here, which
hmm,
means you're saying that so most of the MFDs who do, we do non-demat. Okay, so let's concentrate on the non-demat, which is the physical option. So from what is important to understand is, like, for example, my own problem. Okay, my own problem is saying that we have accounts which are very old, 15 years, 20 years. So what happens is the mobile numbers and the telephone numbers, or even the email IDs that have been registered 15, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, are different than what is happening today in the what has happened when I'm registering in the NSE BSE account in the last 3 to 4 years. Now, if there is a difference between those two, okay, which means how do you align that?
Yeah, there are two types.
All of us are going to have a problem. How do we align that? What is the process? Like, for example, what are the softwares where we can download to
Yes.
find out where is this mismatch?
Yes. So from CAMS, we have already having a report called WER9, where the investor static information is available completely for the distributors to download and check, uh, which also contains the email ID and the mobile number, which has to be downloaded by you and verify whether the email ID on record is actually the same or not, number one. And number two, in case there is no email ID and mobile number, there is a need for you and maybe little urgently to update that email ID and mobile number, which you can do as a individual update, that is the investor wise update, or at a pan level also, that is folio level, I'm so sorry, at folio level or at a pan level, you can get that updation done by sharing the documents. What we will do is we will share the document. I think madam have already shared the document with you. You can post it in the WhatsApp group. You can take a printout, fill it, and fill in the pan number and get the signature done by
Sure,
investor.
sure. So I'll summarize. So friends, if to first find out, saying that to find the static information of what is available, what is registered in the with the RTA agents, the PAN and the email ID, and what you have registered in the NSE BSC when you are doing the online platform. If you want to tally and do a mismatch it, what is important for you is you have to download this static information data, which is called as WB29. Sorry, WBR9.
Correct.
You have to download that report called as WBR9. Once you download that report, you will get a data which will show if your datas are matching or there is a mismatch. Now, if there is a mismatch, how do you process it, right? There are two ways of processing that mismatch. One, so Mr. Harshad, this is only for CAMS. Day after tomorrow, we are doing a presentation where K FinTech will come and talk about how do you take out the data. We will do that on Thursday. Okay, this is for CAMS. Second important thing is, Ravi, correct me if I'm wrong. If you have a mismatch, okay, if there is any mismatch of data, then how do you change that data in with your RTA agencies? There is a PAN-based updation form which is available, but this has to be done in physical. I will circulate the form to be submitted where it's a PAN based for all the AMCs in CAMS, that you can write the client's PAN number, write the email ID and the mobile number, and we will share this with you. You can give that authentication details after the client signs it to the RTA agents, so that especially CAMS, and they will update it across the PAN so that it can be streamlined with your RTA data and your NSE BSE data.
That
I
is
hope I am clear.
Yes, that is perfectly correct.
So there is no the online process which is available is through the
MF Central, that is the investor module only is available
yes,
as of now.
yes. online is only available through the MF Central, but that is only with this investor login, and it is not for distributor. We have not yet got it for the distributor for login details. It has to be done under to the client.
Yes. Madam, we are unable to hear you.
Is there a limit, Ravi, on the MS Central saying that if there is there a limit? AUM limit or something under MF Central?
No, nothing, madam.
No, because there is a limit where they say that if your amount is more than 10 lakhs of rupees, then change of bank will not happen. Change of bank will not happen if it's more than 10 lakhs.
Yeah, that is for my camps. We have a limit of 10 lakh rupees. That is from the risk standpoint of view.
Yeah.
On the MF Central, I will just check and then come back to you. Maybe during the call itself, I will tell you.
Sure.
I will check again and then tell you. I have noted it down. Online, normally we have seen a lot of malpractices and fraud attempts that keep happening. So as a risk, better risk practice, we kept that cap of 10 lakh rupees. Nevertheless, you can take a physical form and then submit it to us, and you can get it updated also. And along with that, we have NSC, that API is available. Yuvraj, can you please?
Yuvraj here. See, in addition to the current mailbag,
we can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're too far from the mic.
No, I'm very close by the mic. Is it audible now?
Now it is audible.
Very good afternoon to all. This is Yuvraj, and I'm part of Mr. Ravi Somasi's team. Yeah. And as we discussed on WBR9 report, which is an investor static report, which is available on distributor mailback service. In addition to that, we have also given an API service to both the exchange partners, be it NSE or BSE.
What is the service? We missed you.
API
service, okay.
API service to BSE and NSE.
API is a new technical term for the sake of the understanding. API is a kind of real-time fetching and updating the data. So exchanges can.
We can't hear you at all, Yuvraj. We just can't hear you. We missed out everything.
Okay. See, API is a technical terminology which I used. It's a technical integration that we have given to BSE and NSE. They can use that service and they can fetch the investor contact details, be it mobile or email ID. They can fetch it instantly. Say, for example, you as a distributor and you are uploading your transaction through BSE, and BSE is going to send the OTP to investors on behalf of you. They don't need to download this WBR9. They can use the service what we have given. They can take the mobile number or email ID instantly, which is a real-time data. They can send the OTP to investor to the same mobile number or email ID which is updated in the folio, and same can be executed.
So the only catch here, Ravi here, the only catch here is the email ID and the mobile number on record should be the email ID and the mobile number, which are being used by the investor also. So here.
So that's where is the issue, right? So Ravi, yes. The problem is first I want to identify saying that all of the members, we need to first give them a clarity saying that once you have a data, how do you reconcile that data? Correct? So yes. Today when we are talking about reconciliation of the data, I think everyone should download the WBR9 report to see what is the mismatch. Correct? Second, once you know the mismatch, now how do you change it? How do you streamline that everywhere it's the same email ID and the mobile number? So there are three processes. One, you can do it through MFU, correct?
Yes.
Second,
MF Central.
MF Central, but you can also do through MFU.
Yes, if it is a CAN, CAN number is there.
You can do it through. So yes. You can do it through MFU. You can do it through MF Central. And the third is, in case if both of this is not working, you can take a physical form, PAN-based mobile and email ID application, you can give it to CAMS, and across all the folios, it will just get updated within one shot. Okay, so that's one thing that we can, that all of us can do. Okay, and I will take now questions, Ravi, which let's start answering the questions, and I think a lot of things will get solved. Okay, because then it is more specific. Okay, there are some, 1 minute, though there are a lot of questions, and I'm going to take it from here. 1 minute. Is PAN-based static information change form is same for individuals and non-individuals?
Yeah, it is the same. PAN-based is the same, but for non-individuals, it will be like, the signature.
Can you come near the? Can you come near the mic, please?
Yes,
You just can't. You're not audible.
Yes. This is, for individuals, this is the form. For non-individuals also, it is the same form which can be used, but the authorized signatories will vary. But for
obviously, you will have to put a stamp of the company, and the form is the same. Only thing for non-individuals, the
and corporates, actually there is no OTP requirement here. So for time being, you can exclude non-individuals.
Okay, fine.
You don't have to worry about non-individuals.
Okay, so it is only for individuals we have to worry. We don't have to worry for the non-individuals or corporates or entities. Okay, so we can do it through MFU. The limit of COB is 10 lakhs, which is what you are supposed to clarify. Okay, why don't they update it from the KYC of the client? Okay, I think that's not possible at this point of time about updation of KYC.
Yes, it will take time, and it will take time, and in between some transactions can come, and
sure,
can get.
Appreciate that. Okay, common form for PAN-based common for all MFs. All MFs, yes. This is what is for CAMS, and there is one for K FinTech. So it will be for all AMC if you submit physically to all the to CAMS or to CAMS. MF Central is only for single holding folios and not for joint holding folios. I think we will have to get back on the MF Central how this will work. Okay.
Yes.
Sir, with regard to MF Central, I think Mr. Kovid Krishnan is writing saying that it is not available for distributors and it is only available for clients. I think within a month it will be also be available for distributors. I think the process is on, and within a month MF Central will also be available for distributors.
Correct. That is what we are working for.
Yeah, that is what I think. Within a month, that will also come for the distributors. For change of contact details, there is no limit. Okay. For NRI, what is the process for NRIs, Ravi? What is the option that we can give it for NRIs?
NRIs, as an investor, they can do it through online process, or that is again the PAN-based service.
Ravi, when you're talking about online process, which means the client himself, who is an NRI sitting there, will have to do that, right? We as distributors cannot do it.
Correct. So
now, if he is a US client, if he is a US investor or a Canadian investor, can he go and change and do all of this online?
Yes, online is available for them. Yes,
no, online for NRIs is not available, especially for US customers. It's not available.
Investment itself is not allowed, right, for them.
No, for old data. For example, if I want to update all the authentication of the data.
Oh, okay. Wherever the investment has come in and then it is there, it has to be a physical process for them as we speak.
So it has to be a physical process for the NRIs.
Yes. That is the scan-based update.
Scan-based update. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it is the same form which has to be taken, signed, scanned, and then sent.
Okay, fine. Got it.
And we will verify the signature and then get that.
We can scan and send it across to CAMS. So can you give us an ID or something where we can send across this so that...
No. I'm so sorry. You have to scan and get the scanned copy from the investor, take it out and then submit it physically in CAMS.
Okay, so physical application, we have to submit it first. We can't send it by email. Fine, got it. Okay.
And some of the AMC websites also are allowing this selectively. While I don't know the names of the specific websites, some of the websites are allowing for NRIs to update.
Okay, can you confirm these changes only routed through exchanges? I did, Mr. Natarajan, I'm not able to understand your question. If you can repost your question, please. Can you tell how is it to be verified from MFU? I think Mr. Deepu, we'll have to come back to you on this MFU, how this has to be done. I will come back and clear that later. Payment of NSE. Okay, MF Central, tell me for NRI. Again, I have answered this on the Ashwin, we have answered on the NRI case saying that it has to be done physically. Email contact folios either will work. Email ID, contact numbers, both should be same on BSE, NSE folios or either will work. Mr. Paresh, I think your email IDs and the mobile numbers with NSE, BSE and with the RTA agents have to be the same.
Correct.
It has to be the same.
Correct.
Yeah, Sandeep Vaidya writes for CAN holders of MFU, you can use following link to verify mobile phone. Yes, okay, he has just given you the link.
Okay.
What is the TAT of PAN based updation?
It is T plus 3 days. Right? T plus 3 days, that is a normal MCT updation. And there is a procedure to send email to the old email ID, new email ID, old mobile number, new mobile number, and all those things. The process will follow. While we cannot explain the complete process, 3 days is the TAT, 3 business days.
Okay, so Santosh, it is 3 business days TAT time for PAN updation. BSE is using ICCL, which is clearing corporation. As mentioned, clearing corporations are exempted. What is the issue here? I think
Corporation, yeah, please go ahead, madam.
No, you can answer this.
Yeah. See, clearing corporation by design is not a distributor or an intermediary. See, they are created to facilitate the consolidation of funds and then transferring them to the MC scheme account, MC account. So the very purpose of this circular or this regulation is to stop pooling of funds in the member broker account, and hence clearing corporation and banks are exempted from this.
Sure.
They are not actually the distributors.
Got it. So what is the, so the next question is Amit Vaidya writes, what if the data with different AMC service by client is different? Which data will be picked up by CAMS?
It is the folio level. It can be different in different folios.
No, my question is, Ravi, say for example, if I'm doing a transaction on NSE, okay, so would you take NSE database authenticate or the RTA database authenticate? RTA database is the one which is authenticated. So in case if it is different in the NSE, I have to change it in the NSE or I can also change it in the RTA?
You have to change it in the RTA. NSE will fetch it from RTA through the real-time APIs facility which we had given. There is an integration between RTA and exchanges.
So Amit, very clearly, if your data is different, your transactions will not be executed at the exchange level only. The data gets cancelled. Your transaction gets cancelled if your email ID and the mobile number is not matching. Am I correct, Ravi?
Yes.
Yeah. So please, friends, remember, if your data on when you're doing the NSE BSE transactions from 1st of July, if your data of mobile and email ID is not matching with your RTA agents, the transaction will be nullified there and there.
The transaction will not even get into the RTA, the environment.
Yes, absolutely.
It will get rejected at the time of upload by the exchanges itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need to be very clear, madam. I just would like to take a minute here and then.
Yeah, sure. Please say that. Yeah.
While we have been discussing about the process and the the need for non-pooling and the regulation, which are little technical, the requirement here is, as distributors, we need to be aware of the reasons for which a transaction get rejected.
Mm.
Okay, there will be a lot of queries from your clients, or there will be a lot of complaints or so. We all should be aware about the reasons for which any transaction can fail. So one
Sure.
of the reasons is the OTP based two-factor authentication, the OTP authentication, if it is failed. It can fail for two reasons. Number one, the mobile number and email ID are not available at all. And number two, the mobile number and email ID that are available are different from what the client is using. I don't want to get into the finer details like, friends, family, and all the declaration and all. All those things will remain the same. If the
Correct.
number is number on record, that is on record of RTA, is different, that is, which is not being used by the register, then the transaction will fail. We don't get, that is, the RTAs don't get the two-factor authentication flag as that is yes and confirm, and the transaction will be aborted at the time of upload itself by the exchanges. So this is the primary requirement. There will be a lot of concerns and then inquiries and all. When will I get money? My redemption is not, money has not come, or the purchase has not gone through. A lot of things will be there. So these things have to be effectively managed and then properly communicated to the investors. What we are doing is by tomorrow, a small FAQ document which we are releasing, we'll be putting it up on our website, and we'll be sharing to all the distributors also at large as an email. And madam will be sharing it with you also. You can share that. It will be a small PDF, one pager.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you
The
can share it with me, then I'll share it with all the members.
Yes, yes, sir.
Sure.
So the customer service or the client service or managing the client, what is it called? Anxiety is something which is the need of the hour. This is the only solution. Either the mobile number and email ID which is not there has to be updated, or if wrong details are there or incorrect details are there, they have to be corrected.
Okay.
That's the requirement in a nutshell.
Okay. So, Ravi, there is Dheeraj Mittal who writes, in the con call, NSE said that they won't compare the email ID, mobile number, their records with that in the folio numbers. They will send the email if link okayed through email to the registrar, and it's up to registrars to check and approve or reject the transaction.
No, madam.
No.
No,
Okay.
that's not completely correct. I need to check and then.
Okay.
1 second. Register to check means, madam, they will upload and then we will check. So at the time of upload itself, it is not going through, then we don't get it for verification or checking it out.
Okay.
I think they would have mentioned that way, and that is correct.
So which
And
means
one more, sorry, madam. And there is one more thing. In case of STP and SWP, we have the requirement like, all these days they are showing it as, they are reporting it as purchase and redemption. Now
yes.
it has to come as STP and SWP only.
Mhm.
And that too, there is a clear cut of timeline. Those STPs and SWPs registered before 1st of June, they can
Yeah.
continue.
Yes, this is Yuvraj here. See, for exchange router transactions, wherever they are reporting the transaction, basically STP and SWP, wherever they are reporting the details after 1st of July and registration date falls on or after 1st of July, this OTP process is mandatory, which means we'll have to send OTP to investor registered mobile number or email ID only at the time of registering the STP and SWP, and same information to be passed on to us, like how they are going to pass it on for redemption transactions. It will be an on-time effort only at the time of registering the SWP and STP in exchange system, and registration date is after 1st July.
So, Yuvraj, let me clarify in a simple way if I've understood correctly.
Okay.
All the transactions after 1st of July, which would be an SWP transaction or an STP transaction, when we submit the application after 1st of July, a first time authentication will be required to be done by the investor.
Yes, first time authentication to be done by the investor. Yes, correct.
Correct? It is
Correct.
not every transaction, but the first time when the SWP is registered and STP is registered, there would be an authentication required from the clients on the first time. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
For redemption and normal switches, it is at transaction level. For SWPs and STPs, it is at the time of registration.
Appreciate it. Okay. So the next question is, if it's possible, can we share that from here? Okay. What is the task based? I think I've already answered. I've answered all of this. Can we update mobile and email through Edge 360? Is it allowed on aggregated basis across folios in one submission, or it is to be done folio wise?
Edge 360 is to be done at folio.
We can't hear.
Oh, okay. So I'm so sorry. Edge 360, I will just confirm to you, but it is available at a folio level through distributor login. PAN-based service, whether it is available or not, I will just confirm to you. Just give me a moment.
So please answer this later. We will, Amit, we will get this answer to you a little later. I think they will come back to us on it. Okay. As per NSE, only 2 email ID mode is approved to the tally with the folios. I didn't do. What is Dheeraj writing? As per NSE, only one of the 2 email or mobile is the mode of approval needed to tally with the folio. Is it one of it or 2 of it? Both the things have to be tallied, Ravi.
It is the primary email ID. It is the email ID on.
Ravi, can you come close and speak? What is it? Is it the email ID which has to be authenticated, or email and mobile both?
It is anyone, email or mobile.
Any one, correct. So only one of them. You're right, Dheeraj, it is only one of them. What about the existing SIPs which are running currently? I don't think there is any change. That will continue. Only the STPs and the SWPs which will be registered after the 1st of July will need an authentication.
One time.
One-time authentication. And even the SIPs registered will have a one-time authentication.
And for redemption and other things, it is a transaction level.
Okay, it's a transaction level, which will be, the OTP will be on a transaction level. Okay, authentication. Okay. And the earlier SIPs will continue. There is no issue on earlier SIP.
Yes.
Abel writes saying that, is there any cooling period for raising transaction online and physical post the change of email and contact number?
That is, there is a cooling period actually.
Sorry, Ravi, please come near the mic. Yeah.
There is a cooling period. There are different practices being followed. That is depending upon the amount of investment and the risk and other things. So there is a cooling period. Answer is yes.
Okay, there is a cooling period, but we don't know what is that cooling period. It's half an hour, 1 hour, 3 hours, whatever it is.
Oh.
Okay, fine. Okay, that we will have to take it as and when the transaction happened after 1st of July.
Yes.
Okay. So again, that same question of can we update email ID through Edge 360? I think we will get an answer.
You can update it at folio level.
Okay. So I think it was Amit's question. You can update it at the folio level through Edge 360.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. When we change email and mobile in KYC, does the registrar upload the folios of these changes?
No.
Update the folios of these changes?
Sorry, the question is not clear, madam.
I think the question is not complete. I think this question is not complete. Dheeraj, you will have to write this whole complete question, because I think when we change email, does registrar update the folios of these changes? Of course, he will register if you have given those changes.
Yes, ma'am. In case if they are changing at KRA, not giving a request to RNT or ANC, we will not do the changes. We will not overwrite anything from the KRA with specific to email or mobile.
Okay, 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 sure. And Prabhakar writes saying that scan based available for residents also? No.
No.
Is it available scan
No,
based?
same thing. See, scan based in the sense investor can fill it up, sign it, and hand it over through the distributor. You can through email or through whatever the mode, and you can submit it.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine, sure. So I think that question is answered, Prabha. Even for residents, you can do it, but the physical application has to go to the RTA agent. Arshad Mohammed writes at 60 allowing to update email. I think we have already answered that. This 2F is only for redemption. Acha, Nidhi writes saying that no Nidhi for redemption, switches, purchase, lump sum, SIPs, SWPs, everything, the authentication will be needed after 1st of July.
No, madam. It is only for redemption, switch including STP and SWP, not for any purchase transaction. Normal purchase, fresh purchase, SIPs, there is no 2FA OTP authentication. It is only for outflow entries. Redemption, switches, STPs, SWPs.
Can you repeat this again?
See, for fresh purchase, additional purchase, SIP purchase, there is no two-factor authentication or OTP involved. OTP, two-factor authentication is mandatory only for redemption, switch, STP and SWP. STP and SWP at the time of registration.
Okay. So Nidhi, you are right. The two-factor authentication is only for redemption, switches, SWP and STP.
Yeah.
For lump sum purchases and SIP purchases, there is no two-factor authentication.
Yes.
Am I clear?
Correct, ma'am. For purchase, for any inflow transactions, there is no OTP. It is only that pooling and the third-party verification. For exchange transaction, RTA is not going to do any third-party verification. And the only expectation which we have already shared it with exchanges is they'll have to provide investor source bank account details, which is basically the pay-in account details from which investor is transferring the money or clearing corporation is debiting investor account for purchase transaction. They will have to pass that account details in the transaction feed they are uploading into our system, which is already been communicated to exchange. They will start providing it from 1st of July.
Okay.
We don't do any third-party validation for exchange routed transactions. That will be taken care by clearing corporations.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. I think on the MFU, we'll have to get back how that authentication happens. What if one email ID and mobile for all family members? Viresh Patel writes.
That is the way.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, that is the way we are handling, the banking transactions.
We can't hear you. You will have to come closer to the mic.
Oh, that comes under the friends and family. Like, typically my family members, all the bank accounts or, wherever it is, if I had given one single mobile number, it will go to that mobile number only, and we have to go through the OTP process. That's all.
So there is no problem if one family member has email ID and the mobile number is registered for that entire group of families, like maybe husband, father, mother. That is fine. That will fine to operate. Only that it has to be authenticated by that person.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Can online individual KYC. Sumit Laha says, can online individual KYC is available? No.
Online individual KYC.
I can't understand, Sumit, what you want to know. Okay, yeah, I think we answered Kirit Bhai. Viresh's question saying that same mobile number and ID can be for multiple PAN. Yes, you can use it. API process not clear. It's very technical. I think we don't need to get involved into that API process at this point of time. It's at the back end. I don't think we need to get to know that. Correct? Yeah.
Correct. See, API means in a practical scenario, I will let you know. Instead of exchange fetching the details through normal modes like email fetch or SFTP process or anything, it is a real-time updation. So this is to reduce the time it takes between exchange placing the request and then we sharing the information. It happens at a real time.
Sure, sure. Transaction happened at 2:55. Yeah, sure. So, which is the other one? Actually, on MF Central can change email ID, mobile number, any survivor holding pattern. I think on the MF Central, I think we will have to do a separate program, because that clarity, I will get that done next week sometime on the MF Central piece, but because I don't think this is right. This is the right platform. Okay.
Web Central, we can do a separate,
Yeah,
joint, what is it called, webinar also.
we will do that. We'll get that done. We'll get that done. Yeah. Okay, there is a question which is beyond this thing where Mr. Rashmi Shah writes, you cannot download individual brokerage statement from CAMS. Can you make it possible?
I'm sorry, I could not get individual brokerage statement in the sense. We have reports, mailback reports. It's WBR 77 where you can download AMC level monthly reports. You can download. We have brokerage statements which are allowed to download WBR 18 and WBR 6, which are allowed to download at AMC level monthly.
These are all brokerage statements. So Rashmi, I think you have a WBR 77. Yeah. You have WBR 18 and WBR 6 that you can download for your brokerage statements from CAMS Online.
Yes, ma'am. WBR 77 is a single report at AMC level. You can download. It is a consolidated mailback report which gives brokerage details at transaction level and gives for all the brokerage, be it a trial or incentive, everything will come into that, including clawback will come in WBR 77. Okay. And that is the report which is majorly used by the top distributors, like corporate distributors like NJ India, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, all of those corporate distributors. It is an extensive report, gives in detailed information.
Okay. And what can you specify even what is WBR 18, what it will give?
It is a brokerage dashboard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an ARN level, what is the brokerage paid and basic details, not a transaction level information.
And WBRC?
WBR 6, yeah, WBR 6, it is an similar to 77, but WBR 6 will have only the trial brokerage information.
Okay.
77 will have all the information, all brokerage related information.
Sure, thank you. So Rashmi, I hope that your query gets answered, that you have you can download 3 of them so that you get a consolidated picture about everything, which is WBR 77, WBR 18 and WBR 6. I don't understand what Vivek has writes. If transaction is done through Edge, I'm not able to understand. Viresh Patel again writes, what if one email ID and mobile number of all? I think we've answered this. If data is different from AMC, not NSE, which data will be picked up by CAMS? Ravi, there is this question.
The number which is there, the details which are available in the RTA database are the details which are used. So everything is basis the data available with the RTA data.
So the authentication of every data will be based, it will be the basic premise is saying that RTA data will be the data that you will pick up and not what is there on the NSE BSE website.
No.
No. So your data is authenticated, and if there is a mismatch with your data, then CAMS will only pick up the data which is registered with CAMS.
Yes, ma'am. I will just brief you how it works. Say,
Yeah.
for example, today a distributor is uploading a redemption transaction through
Yeah.
BSE platform, non-demat, and as part of uploading the as part of transaction uploading process, BSE will have to upload the transaction with the mobile number or email ID to which OTP has been executed. And the mobile number or email ID which they are uploading as part of the transaction feed should match with the record available in RTA books.
Okay.
If, for example, if the mobile number updated in the folio is 123 and BSE is passing the mobile number to which OTP is sent is 789, transaction will not get accepted at RTN. It will get rejected.
Got it. Got it. Amit, I hope this answers your query. Nikhil. Nikhil, I think we have answered your question. Sanjay writes, what if family level 1 email ID? I think we have answered this again. It is no problem. We can do it. What about SIP already registered? I think Gurmeet, we have already answered. There is no issue which for the SIPs which have already registered. If transaction done to, is there any change? If transaction done through H360, is there any changes?
Yes, transaction through H360, any new redemption or switch transaction which investors executing through through a distributor, yes, OTP will be sent and it will be taken care in H360 portal itself.
So which means there would be an SMS which the client will receive.
SMS or email.
SMS or email. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, fine. Sure.
Anyway, through H360, SMS or email will go only to the email ID or mobile registered in the folio. So
Correct.
there will not be any problem.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. AMC website too. And how about AMC website?
It's similar to H360, ma'am.
Okay, so it remains the same. Why I'm asking this question so that it is all clarity remains. So
Okay.
even if you do at H360 or with the AMC platforms, it will be the email ID and the mobile number registered in the under your folio.
Correct.
Absolutely. So NSE account name and NSE clearing, I think this is I don't understand what is Wisdom Investments writing. Sneha, I'm not able to understand your question. And for your existing SIPs, we have said there is no problem. It is only the new SIPs which you STPs and this thing registered. There's no problem with your existing SIP. How NSE can fetch client contact details and how they can change as per RTA instruction. We have to do manually. I think Pranali, it's very clear. We explained it to you saying that it has to match. So if you want to do it on the, if you want to change it in your folio, you have to either do it manually or do it through MF Central, or you can do it through MFU.
Yes.
Is it an application for net banking transaction also? Applicable for net banking transaction also, of course.
No, net banking actually, net banking actually is not relevant here. Net banking is only a mode of payment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Routing the transaction.
Absolutely.
No, if they are talking about purchase transaction.
Can you come near the
Sorry, if they are talking about the purchase transaction, the third party validation, whatever it happens, which we don't do for exchange order transactions. Exchange has to do the TPV. They will only passing on the pay in account number. Actually, it is not relevant for you because the TPV process is a totally different process. And this will only confuse you. Okay.
Sure,
So
sure.
we don't do any third party verification to be precise. Exchange only will be doing.
Sure, sure. So I think now we have answered your question about the STPs, saying that existing STPs won't have problem. New STPs registered after 1st of July will have to be authenticated. NSE pool account name is NSE clearing name. Is it compliant as per new regulation? Yes, of course it is compliant.
Yes.
Paresh writes 2FA is applicable for financial and non-financial transaction both.
It's only for financial transactions and that too for the outflows.
Yeah. So Paresh, it's very clear. It is only for financial transactions and it is only for funds where there is an outflow, which means for redemption, for switches, for STPs and SWPs.
So that is with regard to the specific circular about which we are discussing.
Absolutely.
As a process, we have the two-factor authentication for online transactions and all. That's a different point.
Mhm.
That still remains.
Yeah. If investor having common email, I think we have answered this.
Sorry, one more point is this 2FA is mandatory only for digital transactions. Say, for example, investors going to walk into AMC branch or R&D branch and giving a transaction slip by giving his wet signature, there is no 2FA. It will match and we'll process the order, and we'll match the investor signature and we'll process the order. There is no 2FA mandatory there.
I think we have answered this, Atha. If anyone is matching between an investor approving the transaction, then would it be okay? Both should be matched. I think one of it should be matched. I think that we've already clarified. Amit Bhatt says if I don't know what mobile number or email registered at PAN level, then is the PAN based form submitted to RTA will work? Amit, first is you need to download this WBR9 report, which will give you the details about your existing client's email ID and mobile number registered. And then if you want to change, you can submit it to the RTA. I will share the forms with you and you can submit it there, and then you can change it in the RTA with the RTA agents. How to match contact details of all. Mithul, again, I said, please download the WBR9 report. What about SIP? Gurmeet, I said everything. SIP has no issues. Everything will go through SWP, STP. Even now, one-time registration only. Therefore, no changes there. Change in this. Yes. What about extra level STPs, SWP already registered? There is no issue. There is no issue with the existing ones which are going on.
Yes.
What about currently? Again, it's the same answer. I think there is no issue. PAN based, yeah. Prakash, we will have to get back to you on the MF utility platform. I said saying that we will do this exercise separately for the MF utility platform very shortly. On 360, I think they've answered saying that it is again, it is PAN, it will be under PAN based only. You will get an OTP what is registered with the RTA people, so you won't have a problem there.
Correct.
While making eKYC, can we upload bank statement if we don't have name printed on the check? This is what Shubham writes.
If we want, the check requirement is there, no? The name is not printed on the check, then they upload the bank statement, no. Third party verification. If it is coming through exchange, there is no issue, madam. We don't do any third party verification. Exchange is responsible for doing the third party verification and pass on the account number to us. If it is coming to us, and while doing the third party verification, we need to have the name, and we also have the other processes like, you know, the penny drop and fetching the name from banks and all. So there will not be any issue.
Okay. But I think preferably the check is what is needed.
Exactly.
The name on the check is what is needed.
Exactly.
Okay. CAMS portal. Again, I think SIP is no issue. OTP only for STP. Yeah, I think, yeah, not for lump sum. Yes. On MF Central can change email ID or number on anyone, survivor or holding. Akshay, yes, you can go on the MF Central. The client will have to do it and we won't be able to do it because it's only available for the investors.
Correct.
For Prakash writes for NRI, probably the contact number is overseas. Will they be able to receive OTPs on the overseas contact number?
Email.
Okay, email. So they will receive, all the overseas NRIs will receive an email, and it most probably it won't be on the mobile OTP. It will be through the email.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. If I am doing a transaction through check for NSE portal, for that also authentication process is there. Yes, Pranali, there is an authentication process. Check is purchase as well. So it is actually a purchase. So obviously the purchase transaction won't have it, Pranali.
But if it is, the first purchase and the third party verification has to be done, exchange will do that.
Exchange will do that, right? Which is what is done now normally.
Correct.
Correct. Which is what is done normally today. Pranali, whatever is the process that's happening today will be the same for any purchase which will happen from after 1st of July. How to take follow up on non-processed transactions. We can't call NSE, BSE or follow up.
Yeah, there is a report which distributors can download from CAM's website. WBR, the transaction.
See, there are two reports. One is WBR2, which will give you the details of successfully processed transaction. And there is another report called WBR46, which will give you details on transactions that are rejected at RT. There are two reports.
And this is not the total.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
See, there are two reports, madam, which the numbers have been given by Yuvraj. One is for processed transactions, the other one is for rejected transactions. That is the transactions reported successfully by exchange to R&T agent, but for some other reason they got rejected. Okay. Besides these two categories, there is one more category, that is exchange failed, the failed transactions. That is, the exchange will not be in a position to upload the place the transactions itself with the R&T agent. Wherever the third-party verification is failed, or the mobile number and email ID on record are not matching, and there are some other certain mandatory things. If they are not available or not matching, exchange cannot place the transaction or upload the transaction into R&T system itself. So that is something which will not be available from R&T, because we don't receive the transaction, so we will not give any reverse feed to you. So what you need to do is, you have the sum total of all the transactions. That is, the distributor has the sum total of all the transactions that are placed minus successfully processed transactions. There is a report from R&T agent, less rejected transactions by R&T agent for whatever reason it is. The reasons are also given in the report. And the delta, that is the balance, is failed transactions at exchange level, that is at the source itself. So this is what you need to reconcile on a day-to-day basis.
So which means, let me just explain it to you, to everybody, friends. What he says is, you are going to execute transactions on BSE and NSE. And if there is any failed, we have to have a list of transaction, whatever transaction that we have done. End of the day, you can run a report which is WBR2 and WBR46, and then reconcile saying that what has gone through and what has not gone through, and you will get a report saying that which are the ones which have been rejected. Am I correct?
Yes, madam, you are correct. But in addition to that, there is something which will be missing.
Ravi, we can't hear you.
Sorry. So in addition to these two, that is successfully processed transactions and rejected transactions, there is one more category, that is the transactions which will not get placed by the exchange itself.
That's what I said. So if it is not placed by the exchange, if I have a list of transactions which I've executed from my end, and if I have the WBR2 and WBR46, and if I have 10 transactions done, and in the report there are only 6 transactions which have been reported, I know that the four of them are an issue or rejected.
4 of them are an issue. and which were not reported to R&D agent itself.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So I hope, Mayur, we've been able to answer. So you have to note down WBR2 and WBR46 report has to be run every day to check.
And arrive at the delta if there is any difference. That difference has to be assumed as or taken as transactions not reported by exchange to R&D agent.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. First authentication is a link or an OTP. Subbarao. It's an OTP only, no? I think it's Mr. Subbarao, it is only OTP that you will receive the first time.
Yes.
Karthik Gandhi writes saying that if we enter a redemption transaction, NSE sends a link to the client has accepted the link. If the mobile number is different, but the email is the same, will my transaction gets processed?
Yes. Anyone.
Yeah. So Karthik, as it is anyone, mobile number or the email, obviously it will get processed as one of them is matching. Amit again writes, many STP, SWPSC are actually registered as switches and switch outs and redemption instead of in the AMC records. What will happen? There is no problem in the old records, Amit. It is only the new ones which will need authentication. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am. We have already communicated this to NSE and BSE. Wherever they have not reported the existing SWP, STP registration details to R&D, we have requested them to share those details in the subsequent installments with the registration details so that none of the future installments will get rejected.
Perfect. Perfect. I hope, Amit, you got your answer. Lakshmi Narayan writes, sir, should we have more time to implement for changes and process for this scale? Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, this circular has come around almost around, I think it's 3 months.
Yeah, it's before that. 31st March, we got extension. It's
yeah, we got
more than 4 or 5 months, ma'am.
Yeah. So I think Lakshmi Narayan, it has been 4 to 5 months that this circular has been circulated, and as the team said, in the month of March, this was extended, and that is the reason why SEBI extended this, and SEBI gave a ultimatum to AMCs. Till the time this is not implemented, they cannot come out with any NFOs.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been 5 months, and so it is not. I think they have given us enough time.
Yes.
Mr. Prakash Sheth, I have clearly said, saying that on the MFU platform, we will do a separate exercise and we will come back to you in the next few days what will happen on the MFU platform. Thank you. Dheeraj Mittal writes, if we get email mobile update folios, is it necessary to get updated in the KYC too?
No. So for transaction processing, it is not mandatory.
Yes.
But if investor want to update, yes, they can do it.
Okay. For Dheeraj, for transaction processing, it is not necessary, but for future, for avoiding any of the issues, you can update the KYC too. Viresh says, if the KYC is done, then why the RTA fetch name, mobile, email as per the KRA records? I think, Viresh, here nobody knows what is the correct email that has been there. Certain KYCs are quite old. So this is the time where we have to authenticate this. So it is very difficult for us to answer this. Yeah, there could be options that it could be taken, but I think once for all, we have to take into cognizance and say that RTA data is the only thing that will become mandated.
Yeah, in banking, in parallel industries like banking and other BFSI also, it is the number available on folio or the account.
Near the speaker, we can't hear you.
Yeah, it is the number or the details available on record, that is on the in the account or in the folio.
Sure.
It is being used. So maybe in future we may get some changes, communicated. But as of now, it is the number available or the details available with the R&D agent.
Sure, sure. So हर्षद, मुद्दे की बात ये है कि आपको डेटाबेस टैली करना पड़ेगा अपने मोबाइल नंबर और अपने ईमेल आईडी सारे क्लाइंट्स का जो आपके एनएससी अकाउंट में और आरटीए एजेंट्स के पास है, उसको आपको टैली करना पड़ेगा, आपको स्ट्रीमलाइन करना पड़ेगा। मुद्दे की बात यह है, अगर वो नहीं है तो आगे जाके एनएससी और बीएससी में आप जब रिडेम्पशन या कुछ देते हैं, शायद वो ट्रांजैक्शन एग्जीक्यूट ना हो, तो आपके क्लाइंट को तकलीफ होगा। तो मुद्दे की बात यह है, इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम उसको स्ट्रीमलाइन करें।
Yes.
Shalini Dhawan says there is a link of MFU for update which client has to follow, and the link is updated. Okay. COVID Krishnan writes, when we change an email ID at KRA level, then RTA updates the changes. Yes, that's true.
No.
No,
We
when
don't overwrite the details, madam. As per the existing process, we don't, overwrite. Wherever it is not available, only we will take the details. If we
Sure.
keep with the folio, the details are already given as part of the application. We use the details given by the investor.
Correct. Yogesh Kulkarni, very clearly, authentication is only for exchange or digital transaction, and it is not for physical transactions. The two-factor authentication is only for the exchange traded transaction and not for physical.
Yes. No, all digital transactions, not for physical.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be precise.
Yeah. KYC hard copy document submitted for invoice. Is it possible to do KYC online instead of paper? Sumit.
KYC, I
You
think
can
on
do
the
fresh KYCs, you can do online, right?
Yes. But only thing is that the communication details or the contact details available in KRA data or the KYC are not leveraged or are not used wherever the details are available in the folio. In case the folio doesn't have any details, then we fetch from KRA or the KYC and use them. So
Yeah.
wherever the investor submits the numbers, the details, communication details at the time of opening the account or the folio, those details will prevail against the details available in KYC KRA records.
Sure. Thank you. Mugda from Vice Capital, I think your question is saying that I think for all the overseas numbers, I think the OTP authentication will happen on email and not on mobile numbers. I think it has been answered earlier. It will be only through the email IDs for all the overseas investors.
Yes.
Okay, they're saying that Vilas Deshmukh writes saying that OTP valid time for STP and SWP is what is the valid OTP time, Ravi?
It is a standard. It is to be communicated by the exchanges, whatever the time they use.
So, is it by the end of the day or before 3 o'clock?
It has to be before the cutoff time.
It has to be before the cutoff time, Vilas.
Just to give one more insight, what we discussed on Saturday,
Yeah.
OTP to investor, either to mobile or email ID, it will not go from the AMC or RNT. It should go only from the point of acceptance, either from the distributor end, which is from MFT end, or from exchange end, from NSE or BSE. So they will only take the information from NSE or BSE along with the transaction feed to which mobile or email the OTP has been sent.
And we don't verify whether it has been, it has been.
Please come near the speaker.
Yes. We don't validate or we don't authenticate anything. We will only take the communication details or the contact details as shared by the distributor or MFD or exchange, and they should match with the details which are available on our record. So the OTP process is independent from RTA. We have nothing to do there. Exchange will have their own expiry time or validity time, or the MFD can have their own validity time. But yes, technically, everything should be within the cutoff time.
Okay, correct. So Vilas, I think it's very clear saying that irrespective of what it is, it has to be before the cutoff time. The OTP is valid till the cutoff time.
Correct.
Again, Chetna, I think we have answered this. If the registered mobile number is overseas number, will they receive OTP? They will only receive OTP on the email and not on the registered mobile number. So you have to register the email ID of all the overseas citizens to get the OTP on the email. Joginder Sharma writes, if any one detail matches with the email, I think yes, we have answered this. Nidhi writes, some of the CAMS AMC account statements are not showing full mobile number and email ID. How can we verify this, that is correct or not? I think, Nidhi, please download the WBR9 report, which will give you all the details.
Correct. And by regulation, we cannot, print all the complete number.
Yeah.
So it has to be masked. So for knowing the number on record, you have to take the WBR report.
Yeah. So Nidhi, as a precaution, they have masked those email IDs. So you will have to download the WBR9 report to get all the details to match. Amit writes, I was referring to data with AMCs and not NSE BSE. I say ICICI Pru AMC as mobile number, which is different than Tata AMC, then CAMS picks up. So each AMC wise, it will be taken, right?
Folio wise. Transaction level, madam.
Transaction level. It will be transaction level and the folio level, Amit. It won't be same for everyone. So if you are doing a transaction in ICICI Pru, whatever is the mobile number which is registered there, or the email ID, that will be taken, not the one which picks up from Tata.
Exactly.
In case of Jain or other sort of mode of holding, should all investor email ID needs to be matched? This is a very good question that Vikas has asked, is saying that in case of joint or either or survivor mode of holding, should all the holders' email and mobile number be matched, or the first holder is okay? It will be the primary holder, because mobile number and the email ID which will be authenticated.
And in case of either or survival, there is nothing called primary there. Yeah. Whatever is the number or the email ID on record will be used.
Yeah. Shubham writes saying that I have a doubt about CAMS eKYC. Can we download bank statement? No, again, I think instead of check copy, if the name is not printed, I think, Shubham, they are very clear saying that it has to be, the check copy has to have the name of the investor.
Yes.
Sanjay, so in short, all existing SWP, yeah, you're correct. All existing SWP STPs won't have issues at all.
There is a likelihood of some issue, madam, here.
What you just said some time back, saying that only the ones which are going to be registered after 1st of July, that you will have an authentication. But what if the existing SWP and STP is happening?
Yes, existing SWP and STP, we have requested, as per the process, we have requested exchanges to share the details.
Existing SWPs and STPs.
Sorry, near the speaker.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
For existing STPs and SWPs, for which currently we are not getting the registration details from exchange partners. Yeah. We have requested them starting from 1st of July. Whenever they report the trigger for existing SWPs and STPs, we have requested them to pass on the registration details along with the transaction feed. And if the registration date is prior to 1st July, system will not ask for 2FA or OTP. It will accept by default.
That's what he's asking, saying that for transactions before 1st of July, there is no need of any authentication, right?
No authentication required, provided exchanges to provide the registration details to us.
But that is between you and the exchanges.
Correct.
It is not in my control.
No, yes. But why we are trying to highlight this point here is
Yeah.
that can result in transaction getting rejected if they don't provide.
But that is so. What should we do? Should we take up the matter with the exchanges, saying that they should provide you, or you have
No,
already
no.
spoken to them?
We have already spoken to them. We have exchanged the process note. We have given the U8 environment. They have tested and everything. But as a matter of the insight, we are telling you, in case for some reason it is not coming to R&T agent, that transaction might get rejected. Not might get, will get rejected.
Oh, so this is a technical issue between the
Exactly.
exchange and this thing. This has nothing to do with any one of us, but this is an exchange issue. So we will have to solve it at the amphi level and say that they will also have to speak to the exchanges and that, so that this doesn't happen.
Yes, we are taking every measure for
Fine.
so that it will not happen.
Sure. So I think, Sanjay, your question is answered. Payal Sharma writes, please summarize for me, one client has email ID or mobile number different from what is registered in the folio on the NSE. When transaction is processed and the client authentication, the transaction from email which is uploaded on exchange, client will get email, mobile for authentication at his folio registered, and the same, if the same is authenticated, transaction would be successful. I think one of you need to answer this now.
Yeah, I think we have already answered this question, madam. The mobile number or the email ID to which the OTP is sent by the exchange or the distributor should match with the mobile number or email ID available on R&T records. If it is different, the transaction will get rejected.
Yeah. So I think, Payal, it's very essential saying that your data has to match. If there is a mismatch between the details which is there with the RTA agents and with the NSE platform, then the transactions cannot go through. It will be rejected purely. So both of it has to match.
Exactly.
I think one of it also can be matched, either the mobile or the email ID. Even if one of it is matched, there is no problem. But if both of us don't match, then there is a serious problem. Then the transaction will not go through.
I think Ms. Payal is referring to NSE records, right? I think so.
Yeah. No, she's writing saying that what is summarize of one client mobile number from what registered in folio and on NSE. So obviously it is like the same. Yeah. If Gurmeet writes, if CAMS 360 folio number mobile are different, where to authentication will go? It will get rejected.
You're talking about Edge 360, right, madam?
Yeah.
Edge 360, whenever a distributor is placing transaction, the OTP will go to the naturally will go to the number available with the R&T agent. So there is no risk there or there is no issue there.
Yeah. Santosh Bane asks, what if the contact details are not registered in the folio? Santosh, it will point bank will get rejected.
Yes.
What about existing SWPs? Paresh, there is no problem with the existing SWPs. We have answered that question earlier. The redemption, STP, SWP, all transaction verified in both email IDs and contact number, or only one of them, any one of them. I think we have answered this, Sabita. Dhaval, in WBR 9, do we need to refer to folio level contact details and ignore the data registered in KYC?
Yeah, folio level, yes.
Yes, Dhaval, folio level is very essential.
Yes.
Amrit Bhatia, what if there is a difference between contact, folio and KYC which is required? I think what is available with the KRA is the most important thing. It could be different in your KYC. That's not an issue. What happens if no email in folio mobile given? Then Paresh, the transaction will get completely rejected. Mitul, yes, forms will have to be submitted to CAMS office I think this question is wrong, is half. I'm not able to answer this. And on MF Central can change email ID number in anyone survivor holding to. Yes, Akshay, you can do it, but it has to be done from the client's end and not from our end. We can't do it, but the client will have to do it. COVID Krishnan writes saying that when we change the email number at the KRA level, then RTA updates the changes from their end. Yes, indeed.
Sorry, madam, come again.
When we change the email ID and mobile number at KRA level, then RTA updates the changes from their end.
No, we don't. Wherever the email ID and mobile number is available in RTA database, we don't overwrite it.
Correct.
Wherever it is not available, we will use that. I think I'm clear. If I'm not clear, I will explain it.
So I got it. You will only overwrite. You will not overwrite the email ID. It's only where there is a specific change that the client wants, you will do the change.
Yes, and in case if it is not available also in the folio,
absolutely,
KRA data is having, we will fetch it from KRA data.
Okay, sure. Dinesh writes in BSc there are two types of STP. One is AMC STP and other is normal STP. So in normal STP is valid even after 1st July. Yes, it is. Am I correct? It is applicable of even after 1st July on BSc.
Yes, madam. But I'm not clear as to the question. AMC STP and normal STP means I'm not clear.
Yeah, so he must have given an application to that AMC and there would be transaction done through on the exchange also. So he's referring.
Yeah. Whatever it is, the cutoff date as mentioned by us is
1st of July. Yeah.
Yes.
In MF Central does not allow. Sushmita, we will have to work on the MF Central if there is anyone or survivor, how to do it. I think that's a separate exercise.
Currently, it is not available, madam. Currently, it is available for individuals only.
Yeah, and not for joint holders.
HUFs and all other, non-individuals, it is not available.
Okay. Dhruv Kule writes, what if a client is managed by different distributors and email ID, mobile number given by the client to these distributors are all different? So which email ID and mobile number RTA will accept?
Folio. It is at the transaction level, folio level.
Now here the issue is, Ravi, what he's talking about is if the distributor is different and he doesn't know what is the other distributor is updated when he does the transaction. So I think in this particular case, Dhruv, you will have to speak to the client, get the details about what is registered. Only then you will be able to execute it. It won't be available from the RTA agency.
Exactly. WBR9 will not have that information.
Yes.
One second, madam. 1 second. WBR9 will give you the details of email ID or mobile number.
Sorry, please come near the mic, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
The WBR9 report will give you the details of email ID or mobile number updated in the folio. Whether it is updated by distributor A or distributor B is immaterial.
Yeah.
So that will give an updated details of email ID and mobile number.
Okay.
Whoever the distributor having transaction for that particular investor in the folio will get those details.
Sure. Got it. Ashwin, at the end, please summarize in a simple manner, step by step. I think it is very simple, Ashwin. The thing that I understand from what I have gone through is saying that the first thing is please download WBR9 report, check the RTA email ID, what is registered in the RTA's data for the email ID and mobile, what is registered on the NSE BSE platform. I think once you are able to match that, then you won't have an issue in the future. To do all of the, say for example, you want to change it, you either will have to go do it through MF Central. If not MF Central, you will have to do it through MFU. Or the best thing is you can also do PAN based physical transaction change across all the AMCs, across AMCs through the PAN number for that particular client for the mobile number and the email ID,
Yes.
which can be done. I think this is the first simple process that we have to understand. All your authentication will have to be done before 3 o'clock by the clients. One more thing which has to be summarized is after 1st of July, all the SWP and the STPs also will be needed a two-factor authentication. Before that, there is no problem. Purchases will have no issues, which will be as per earlier.
Madam, sorry, SWP and STP is only one time, madam.
That's what, only one time. STP and the SWP transaction after 1st of July will be only one time authentication.
Correct.
For the earlier ones, there won't be any issue on SIPs or SWPs or STPs. Purchases, which is your SIP purchase, your lump sum purchase, will be as normal as what is going on today. There is only one authentication. It won't be a two authentication phase.
Yes.
And all of this is only applicable for online transactions on exchanges, which on physical, none of this will be applicable.
Yes. To be more precise, all digital transactions are not.
All digital transactions, absolutely. I think, Ashwin, I have summarized as simple what is the process and what needs to be done. Both RTA have different contact details. How do we update it in NSE? Pranali, we will have to, if you have two RTA details, I think CAMS has a different forms and K FinTech has a different form. We will be sharing both of that. So it will be have to be done with two different KRAs separately. KYC change from when given needs to be updated in all folios matching with PAN. Yeah, of course, yes. We usually place redemptions of multiple schemes via NSE in one link. Does two-factor authentication will be for each folio or only one?
Each transaction.
So each transaction will be needed, I think.
Yes.
Prakash, each transaction, if you have 3 schemes, then 3 schemes will have to be authenticated separately by the client. Praveen Shinde, how to change the address in the folio is the application form change document. I think this is through KYC only you can change, Praveen.
Yes.
PR rights is NSE investment account, the mode of holding anyone or survival email transaction is only. I think it's only the first holder who will get the email for authentication and not the second holder. The primary holder gets it. COVID Krishnan said, a simple question. I was not able to collect. If the data is not matched, then what type of transaction will be affected, like only outflows? Yes, you're right. All your redemption transactions will get impacted because they will need two-factor authentication. And even the new SWP and the STP purchases will be impacted from 1st of July.
Exactly.
Jignesha, may we get all the above in one page or FAQ, or we'll find somewhere. Okay, we will send you an FAQ, Jignesh. We will send it across to you for the FAQ. And in case you have any issues, you can connect with me and I will be able to help you to sort it out.
Yes, we also will be sharing the FAQs by tomorrow end of the day, madam.
Sure.
Maybe you can wait till tomorrow end of the day, or maybe, Thursday, I think you are getting it done through other R&D agent.
Yeah.
So we can keep Thursday as a cutoff day, which you can share with everyone.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. I think what is HUFs will not have any issue. It will be going through as normal as earlier.
Yes, yes. It is only for individuals.
It is only for individuals. This is only for individuals. It is not for corporates or HUF or any of the other mode of holding. How can we? Pratiksha, I think we will have to get back to you on how we can do it for the MF central thing on HUF. We will have, that is a separate session. We will try and get that done. I don't think you will have an issue if you have applied for STP transaction on 28th of June and transaction is dated 5th of July. I don't think you will have a problem. Only applications given after 1st of July will have an authentication.
Yes.
Correct?
Wherever we are getting the registration,
Sorry, near the mic.
wherever we are getting the registration date from BSE or NSE as prior to 1st July, there is no 2FA.
Correct. I hope you got your answer. Okay, so Mihir, I think the gentleman said saying that what report from CAMS or Carly should we check to find how many transactions have successfully gone through? Example. Okay, so Mihir, as per CAMS, you will have to download the WBR2 and WBR46 to find and match and reconcile what applications that you gave and which has been rejected and which has been successfully executed. Correct?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. Mihir, so please write down it's WBR2 and WBR46.
And this will be forming part of our FAQs also. We will mention in that one page.
Sure.
And somebody has written sole proprietor. Sole proprietor is an individual. So it is the same rule.
Yeah. So sole proprietor is an individual. So the same two-factor authentication will be which will be mandatory. Which will be mandatory. Yeah. But there are alphabetical errors also sometimes in the KRA data. That's something technical which we will have to sort it out, and we as distributors will have to be careful in case if there is any data entry error, we will have to get back and rectify.
Exactly. So as a hygiene exercise, periodically, maybe weekly or fortnightly, whatever interval you would like to follow, you can download the details, and then in case there is any data entry mistake or domain anything, it has to be corrected.
Sure.
At least a couple of days before placing the request, or at least 3 to 4 days, because the CAT is 3 days we are telling, and there is some cooling period also applicable.
Sure.
It is always better to have it done a week days to 10 days before the transaction. Otherwise, transaction will get rejected.
Sure. So Paresh writes, if only mobile is available and given redemption, what happens? Only then the mobile will have the
OTP.
OTP will come on the mobile, and then you will have to execute it.
Exactly.
Ayushi writes, if by submitting fresh KYC form, we are not able to change contact details everywhere, then what other option is available to change and update the contact details? So that's what we said, Ayushi. There is a form which is PAN-based updation that you can do of the mobile and folio. We will be sharing on the WhatsApp groups. You can use that and submit physically to the KRA. Yeah. Sabita, I think the Zoom call with K FinTech is going to happen on Thursday at 5:30. We will be circulating the information tomorrow morning. In case if we change mobile number, KYC level, no, it won't. At the KYC level, if you go and change your folio level, it will not get automatically changed, Amit. You will have to physically change it at the KRA level. Correct me if I am wrong.
RTA, yes, madam. RTA level.
You have to do it at the RTA level, and once you do it at the KYC level, it won't get automatically updated. Atin, I joined late. Please answer whether will apply for physical redemptions or physical redemptions. It won't be applicable. There is no issue on physical redemptions because you are giving a signed signature of the investor, which will be verified. It is only for exchange digital transactions. Sabita writes, what about minor cases? How to do it online? I think it will be the registration of the
guardian.
And the guardian will get an OTP for the execution.
Exactly.
KYC folio mobile emails are same necessary or not?
Not required.
Not required. It is only the folio details are very important and not the KYC.
Exactly.
Yes, as a hygiene, you can keep everything changed and keep everything the same.
Yes.
Paresh writes, where the change of contact number and email in folio level takes approximately 7 business days. Will it be correct to say it will now take 3 days only in now PAN based updation?
No, we will be doing it. The TAT is 3 business days, madam.
Yeah.
We also have a cooling period. We will be sending communication to the old and new, and in total, it will be taking.
So Ravi, what you are trying to tell is, say for example, we give a physical PAN across, PAN based change for mobile and email ID. The TAT time is T+3. Then there is a cooling period, and in that cooling period, you are going to also get in touch with the investor to get a confirmation.
In total, it will take 7 days, madam. That is the reason why I said 1 week to 10 days before, prior to the transaction. If the details are updated, there will not be any.
So Paresh, the 7 to 10 days business days still remains. It is not 3 days. Can we update all AMC details mobile PAN based from through CAMS? Yes, Viren, we have answered this. Yes, we can. There is a particular form which I will share, and then you can do it. Currently in H360 for multiple transaction, only one OTP is required. Will now it will be required for each transaction, or will it be only for one for all?
It is the same procedure, madam.
Okay, for 360 H360, nothing changes. It will be only one OTP for all transactions. Dhaval writes, PAN level updation is to overwrite across all folios in CAMS, right? Yes, that's true. That's correct. I think sole proprietor is as much as an individual. So this particular regulation will be applicable for the sole proprietor too.
Yes.
Sabita Bora, yeah, sure. We will get in touch with you. We will give you the details. Amit Shea tries to update mobile. We submit PAN based form. Yes, Amit, you submit the PAN based form that will get across the folios. It will get updated. I hope I've answered all. Let me see if there is any question and answer which is there.
Oh, so while you see that, madam, one important, update which I would like to, request I have.
Sure.
Please get in touch with Exchange and take confirmation from them that they are going to send the OTP. Or in case there is any integration that is required from the distributor to be completed, please get that done. And Exchange has, I think, 2 options. One, distributor can do through integration, with the Exchange, or Exchange will themselves will administrate. So, in the interest of your business and the client service and other things, please get in touch with exchanges. Take a confirmation from them. Whether you have to do anything from your side or exchange will take care of it.
So are you trying to tell me, Ravi, saying that we should also speak to the exchanges and find out if this will be done automated, or to be doubly sure that there is no issue in the transactions from 1st of July?
Yeah, as a matter of one caution, you can just take one more confirmation. I think exchanges had already released the process note and other things shared with the distributors. In case somebody has missed going through that, or complying with any of the requirements required by exchange, please do go through that and then comply with them. That's all.
Sure. I hope, friends, I've taken up all the questions. I hope I've not missed anything, and if I missed, you're free to get in touch with me. I'll definitely try to answer your questions. And Ravi, thank you so much for this particular event, and we will wait for your FAQs. And we would really appreciate if you can send us the FAQs in detailed, very simple, concise, so that, it is helpful for all the distributors across the country, because this is going to be a complete game changing, and we should not put the investors into
inconvenience.
problem.
Sure, madam. By tomorrow evening, we will be completing. See, why we are keeping tomorrow evening is we have been talking, like, engaging with you today. We have, thanks to you, we have engaged with more than 300 people
Yeah.
from your side. And similarly, we are talking to other distributors also.
Sure.
As we speak, and then as we engage more, we are getting more questions. So we will consolidate everything, and then by tomorrow evening, we'll be releasing it. Latest by day after tomorrow, we'll be updating it on our website also.
Sure.
And we will send emails and all those things.
So if you can, Ravi, please send a personal thing to me so that I can share it with everyone.
Sure, madam.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. And
thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.